Video today is on about it's a kind of a second part of that. Are you desperate to win? And I wanted to talk about wanting to run fast and the desperation to run fast and the neediness to run fast, because I think this is one thing that really tightens up athletes and sprinters and prevents them from actually performing. When you're actually desperate to for something, success or something, this actually puts you in a tight state. Your body doesn't like it generally. It's when you want something, you're in an area where your mind is somewhere else and you're not in here and now. And that when you're not in here and now, the body really tightens up under that process. And because of that, if you tighten up, you won't run fast. And your sprinting speed will be, any kind of speed in terms of whatever event you're doing, will be hampered. So I wanted to talk a little bit more about that desperation and wanting to win too much, wanting your goals too much. Because athletes and sprinters, they generally overemphasize that area. I was thinking, well, Andy, what are you talking about? I've got to have that want to do it. I've got to have that desperation. That's good, isn't it? That's what we should have. And I'm saying, no, it isn't. We've got this brought up in this society of saying, well, if you want something enough, you want it enough, you'll get it. And it's not exactly right. It's if you have a passion for something and doing something, that's the energy you need to succeed at something. So it's not the end goal so much that's really important. It's the passion of what you're doing right now that's going to give you that end goal and success. So you have to have the passion, because that gives you the energy to do it. So it's not, when you have a passion, it's not really wanting, it's just in the process of doing something that you really like to do. So, and that brings about it. But for a lot of times, the end goal overpowers the athlete and the sprinter that's thinking, this is so important, this end goal, that it overpowers the actual doing of something right now. You're kind of doing your sport, doing your sport and getting satisfaction out of your sport. But a lot of athletes find that the end goal is where they find that's the only satisfaction they need. If they do not get that satisfaction, that end goal success, then there's no satisfaction. But that's not passion. So the overemphasis on the end goal really, really does hold back the athlete in getting there. And that's where the desperation to win, that's a desperation of win, that overemphasis, the over-reliance on the end goal to do it. This really tightens up athletes. Now, I've seen a lot of athletes and sprinters give up their sport because they're not getting the results in the competing that they get in the training. And they're consistently training throughout the winters, the spring. They're training throughout and they're consistently training. And then when it comes to competing, their times don't match it. And they stay at the same slow times and they plateau unbelievably. Because they're thinking, a lot of athletes think, well, I've put in all this training, I should be running quicker. I should be running quicker. I deserve to be running quicker because I put all this training in. But it doesn't work like that. And this channel shows that, because this channel is points you towards that missing link that these athletes miss, that relaxation that you need to have right now for you to get the future success later. So this is the missing link. This is what this channel is all about, giving that athletes that missing link of why they're not succeeding. And just shows you this channel is not giving athletes like the desperation to win. It doesn't harness that. The desperation to win is actually what tightens up athletes. So I wanted to actually just point you towards this, in the fact this desperation means tightness, this over-reliance on the future goal, this wanting, this needing to perform well is holding you back right now. And you're not going to be relaxed, you're going to be tight. This tightens up athletes and tightened me up for many years as well. It's the fact that I used to just train, done all the training. The competing would not give me that, because I was in a state of that wanting. That time I was in that state of, well, I've done all this training. And I get slow times, consistently slow times. And I was thinking, I wasn't ready to give up. But a lot of athletes do give up because they say, what's the point? If I'm training hard and I don't get the times in the competing, What's the point? In a way, you can understand this. I mean, I'm putting all this effort, I'm getting nothing back. And this is what happens when athletes think, well, train hard, that's all I have to do. Train hard, just train hard. It doesn't work like that. Number one, the training hard has to be in the right direction. You have to do the right things for the training hard to work. And you've got to be able to, number two, you have to be able to adapt and change in training hard. You can't consistently do the same thing over and over again and expect the same result, expect different results. That's the definition of insanity, as Albert Einstein says. So you need to be able to be adaptable and say, well, okay, I've come across an obstacle. What do I do to get over this obstacle? What am I doing wrong? How can I change things? Let's try this. And if it doesn't work, let's try this. And the lack of resilience we have in athletics, in our society now, to actually just don't give up, just to actually, there's a lack of resilience to give up, to just say hard work hasn't worked for me, so I need to give up, which is totally wrong. The fact is that obstacles in front of you, you need to be adaptable and you need to be able to change. You need to be able to say to yourself, okay, I'm doing something wrong. Okay, what do I do? Let's work this out. Let's try new things to make sure it's better, to get better, different results. Society tells us, well, all you have to do is work hard. Train. That's all you have to do. No. You need to do the right things and you need to be adaptable. That's what you need to do. Forget the training hard to work for you. And it's something that we're not taught in society to do. Relaxation is basically that thing. You have to be able to change the way you feel, or not change the way you feel, accept the way you feel. And once you accept the way you feel, then you bring about relaxation. That's something that I'll go over in a future video. But the fact is that desperation, can't have that over-reliance on the end goal. You've got to be in the here and now and be comfortable in yourself. That relaxation, applying relaxation, gives you the confidence in yourself, but the confidence of not needing it. Not needing, you're perfectly in the present moment, but you're not needing the end result. That's a massive thing. That's what bringing relaxation is bringing, focusing on your body, the mind-body connection, getting the mind-body connection, focusing on your body, focusing on the here and now, focusing on your breathing, bringing that breath, relaxing, accepting the way you feel. And once you do that, then you're in the present moment. Your sense of confidence comes up, and confidence is not needing. Confidence is not desperation. Confidence is something that, okay, I'll get there. I'm certain I'll get there. And I'm ready to take on any challenge along the way that gets me there. So when you've got to locate yourself, you've got to think inside yourself and be self-aware. You've got to be looking inside yourself and thinking, well, am I desperate to get the end goal? Am I getting frustrated at my performances? Am I a good trainer and bad racer? And because of my good trainer, am I getting kind of disconsolate and demotivated because I'm not getting the times in the competing? And if you actually like that, then you have to look at the relaxation. You're not applying relaxation. If you're desperate for the end goal, you're not applying relaxation. You're tight as a board. This brings down athletes. Athletes give up because of it. They think the hard rate training will give them the success, and when it doesn't, they give up. That's not the way it happens. Hard training has to be the right training for you, and you have to be adaptable. You have to change, be ready to change and try new things. You have to be able to explore your body. Exploration of your body is where, if you're not prepared to learn about your body, then you're not prepared to become a better athlete. If you're not prepared to actually see what works for you and what doesn't work for you and try new things and take risks with trying these new things, then you're not ready to become a better athlete. You must be able to, becoming a better athlete, being a faster athlete, getting what you want is about exploring new areas so that are right for you. What exercises do you need to do right now? What exercises do you need to do that is good for your body right now, that the body wants right now. What weak muscles do you have that you need to have to do that will make the difference to you? So it's an exploration of your body. And that's really, really important. Remember, if you're just looking to train hard and do the same thing over and over again, you'll get disappointing results in training, in competing. And you might get to the start, but you'll hit a plateau by doing the same thing over and over again. And you'll come back and try and do the same thing again. You'll train hard and say, well, the same thing over again. That desperation to win is shattering to people's, it shatters athletes' careers. It really does. Remember those times, and you will have it in your times. If you've been in athletics for long enough, you'll know those times when you'd competed and you surprise yourself at the way you competed. You surprise yourself with the times you had. You just think, how did I do that? I mean, and you'll find that those times came about because you weren't putting pressure on yourself. You're just thinking, you were just competing. That's what you need. You weren't putting pressure on yourself. You didn't care so much about the result. You just went out and competed. That's what you need to do. That's what it comes down to.